Alright, I'm back. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I did, okay. And the volume. Okay. Let's get back to it.
Tika havan seda tarjakan, kavakan seda rebakavakan. Tvarkina vada hadi rajdoda inna, and the davan selo do govri in ma. In the killer, just a bit, man. And the killer, just a bit, man. And the killer, yeah. Just a bit, man. Don't wait, just a hit. Propaganda della seta ricava della moda, che cava della sita da ricchina ma va. And the cacao in sera da carriera ma ha, che da one nega havarina sai in la lava. Che da piano con la tela and the cava cash. And the cava da morica di honey girl. And the kiss of a cook, Arica, and no, and the key of a push shut and the gomara propaganda. 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 Della vastità mordia che da sempre da cavare mordia da seta la digitaria moto and the seta mordia da kin selo den man de ga in the good in the seta rich on the mo and the cavare da mordia the seta lo ko va I got me and the din kan med vad då det seta che cavaria del propaganda che da marga da sort propaganda del lover heading lava sha propaganda del lodi in the vate sha propaganda del legno da sorti
looks like that's the last of the inking for this layer. Or for this drawing, as I should say. Done with the inking layer. The next layer would be color. I'm not sure if I want to do that right now. So I have about 20 minutes left for this stream if I want to make it to the 1 hour mark, but I don't know. I mean, I don't see any point. At the same time, though, it doesn't make any sense for me to start the next stream by doing the color layer and then having that last for what? An uneven amount of time. Yeah, no. I think I should at least just get started then. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm just experimenting right now. Checking to see what would happen if I use tints and shades of colors rather than just straight up white and black. Using purely just white or purely black for certain coloring in anything, it usually does not work. And the reason why is because in reality and nature and whatever you're looking at, there's no such thing as a pure white. That's why if you go to a paint shop, there are so many different types of white and blacks. Whites and blacks. This is kind of sounding weird when I say it like that, but nonetheless, though, different tints, I should say, of whites and different shades of black. Because, simply put, if you take a look at the color wheel, sure, you've got pure white and pure black, but you've also got the hues, right? Not just the neutral colors. So, because the hues always exist, according to our eyes anyways, how we perceive the world. How we perceive the world. Yeah. The combination of neutral colors and hues always exists, and they far outnumber purely black color, white color, and the hue itself. So basically everything in between, right, occurs and exists way much more frequently and more numerously than the colors being pure. There are exceptions, of course, and yes, there are means of artificially making these colors purely black, purely white, purely a hue. Sure, but again, according to just looking at stuff in nature or, you know, your surroundings and so on and so forth, you're going to be seeing nothing but combinations of colors rather than just pure ones. Anyways, I noticed when I was looking at some of my favorite artists' works, I paid close attention to how they used their neutral colors, their dark colors, their light colors. Again, it sounds weird when I say it like that, but again, I'm not trying to imply anything. This is just how color theory works. Anyways, they don't straight up use a pure white, they don't straight up use a pure black. Again, they use some sort of shade or tint of whatever color is adjacent to it. In this case, I made the gloves yellow because in color theory, yellow is the brightest hue. And so therefore I made the gloves a yellowish tint. For his crest here, it's supposed to be white, but because it's surrounded by his red fur, I decided to make it a red tint. I mean, a red tint is essentially a pink, but I made it so light that it essentially looks more like white than pure white than pink. I digress. Same thing here. The whites of his eyes is just a tint of the color of his iris, which is violet. His teeth, and so on and so forth. And the reason why I'm trying to do it like this is, again, to experiment with how color looks on a drawing, on an illustration, simply because, again, pure white and pure black just does not look good. Not just because it doesn't look good on him, on Knuckles, but it just doesn't look correct, if that makes sense. Because it's not. Again, that's not how realistically his gloves would look. And the grays on his shoes, and so on and so forth. Something that I've also noticed is that I'm trying to color in the shadows and highlights and basically the whole value scale on a character's body or an object's form without blending the colors together. It just looks off. First of all, it doesn't trick the human eye into thinking that it's a 3D form. It just makes it more obvious that it's a 2D shape or 2D illustration. So think of those coloring books that you can get at pretty much any retail shop. And when young people color in those drawings, those illustrations in those coloring books with crayons or markers or color pencils or whatever, that's basically the kind of look that this reminds me of. And of course, again, it's not correct. Or it doesn't look correct anyways. It doesn't allow my eyes and my mind to accept that this is a 3D form, because it's not. Well, it's not obvious anyways. My point is that I still need to color in the shadows, the highlights, the midtones, and everything in between. But I also need to blend the colors together. And that's pretty difficult, just because I still don't know how to do that properly. There are blending tools, but all it really does is just smudge the colors. And it just makes the drawing look smeared. Just doesn't look right. So on this value scale, let me put color, value. Normally I would have done a grisaille layer before the inking. Sorry, before the color, I should say. And grisaille just means coloring in the values of a three-dimensional form. So all the shadows, all the highlights, all the midtones, and all the gray colors in between. It's doing that and only using neutral colors to do it. No hues. But because I have the reference image literally layered underneath this drawing, and I can change both the opacity and the saturation of the hues to the point where I could just turn the hues completely off and just get nothing but gray colors, you know, the value scale. I don't see any point in doing a grisaille layer. That's not going to help me figure out how to blend the colors in anyways. Oh, would you look at that? It's already, I've already hit the 1 hour mark, the stream. I wasn't trying to intentionally, what's the word, stall for time by talking about this or doing, you know, this experiment. I genuinely wanted to do this. I wanted to do this real quick before the stream ended, so I can get a good idea of what I want to do. The question is now, again, how do I blend the colors together? I see other artists, especially my favorite artists, use an oil brush in order to make it easier to blend the colors together as they would put the colors in. But I don't know. I'll look it up. Again, the blending tool can be used to cleanly blend the colors in without making it look smeared, without making the drawing look smeared. And I do that as well, but it's, I wouldn't say difficult, but there's a different process or phenomenon, I don't know what to call it, or what the word for it is, but there's a different phenomenon when it comes to blending colors together digitally instead of physically, because with physical oil paint or acrylic paint, I can get smaller brushes and add less or more paint for each color to essentially make it easier to blend such colors together. But when it comes to digital colors and digital tools, I'm just not very experienced. I don't have a whole lot of experience with that. And so it seems, to me anyways, it's difficult. But it's not a matter of taking this much color out and then wiping the two colors together, you know, wiping what's left together with a blending tool, because the pixels or the bitmap or whatever, right, the software just does not allow it to be that easy, or that simple, I should say, because even with physical materials, it's still a pain and a long process, which is why I don't enjoy being an artist. But anyways, that's besides the point. Something else that's been on my mind for the last few minutes is that the fact that I said I was wanting to do some streams on Picarto, because some drawing streams on Picarto, because I wanted to draw porn. But I don't know how soon I want to do that right now. Eventually I will, but how soon, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to go ahead and get the content-related animations and transitions and so on made immediately after the New Vegas playthrough, but as no. Right now, that's just not gonna happen with my skills. I want to at least show that I care enough about my content, about what I do, about what I make to others by making some decent work. I don't want to just throw garbage out. I expect people to take me seriously. I know for the New Vegas stream it doesn't seem like it, but that New Vegas playthrough, streaming that whole playthrough, pretty much was the first time throughout the entire time I've been a content creator that I took streaming seriously and did as consistently as I could anyways, because there were some circumstances where things got in the way, mostly IRL stuff. But anyways, yeah, since I'm taking the streaming thing seriously, I want to take my content seriously. And what I mean by that is, of course, make some good quality content. Something I want to make content that's worth looking back several years later and saying to myself, yeah, that's pretty good stuff. It has aged like a fine wine instead of a fine milk. Anyways. Let's see, anything else? Not really. I will upload this inking layer tomorrow? No, it's already tomorrow. It's past midnight. Okay. I guess I'll upload it then when I wake up. Whatever that will be. Maybe I'll sleep through the morning and upload an afternoon or something. I don't know. I got a lot of stuff I gotta deal with when it comes to my social media. But anyways. That should be everything. Let me save this once more. I don't have to worry about losing any of that progress. Okay. I keep forgetting to put that on for some reason. Anyways. That's gonna be it for this stream. And before I forget, I did check the recording of the last stream and compared it to the VOD. There, to me anyways, there's no real difference between the two in terms of video quality, the resolution, the frame rate, etc. The only real difference I saw was that in the recording, the bottom of the video, basically where this information here, that information there, this and that, all that, right, was glitching out, so to speak. It just kept having this pattern of blurring out, like, in just a few microseconds. So I just keep doing that over and over again in the recording. I checked back in the VOD to see if it also happened while I was streaming, and it didn't. So I'm glad that that's just a issue with the recording settings. But nevertheless, though, again, I'm just gonna leave the settings on OBS alone for the stream. streams from now on until, of course, I do other types of streams future. So yeah, anything else at all? If there is, I'll just tweet it tomorrow if I remember it. So yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna end the stream now. Peace.